All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I still have my favorite sweatsuit that often I wear to bed on, and this is my first cup of coffee, and I have a nice fire going on over here with my electric fireplace. So we're gonna talk about something that I personally just think is really fun as we drink our coffee and enjoy this beautiful morning. So when I first started this whole journey of decluttering my home and realizing that I couldn't take it anymore, all the stuff, all the overwhelm, and that I personally deserved better than that, there were two big things that stood out to me when I started to research, binge all the YouTube videos and anything I could get my hands on. There was the idea of minimalism, which was one of the first things that I started with when I watched the Minimalist Netflix documentary, and it just lit a fire under me to know that there could be something different, because honestly, I didn't know I could live a different way. I had never had any friends or family members that were minimalists, and so honestly, the idea never entered my mind that that was a possibility. But then the other thing that I remember researching and watching also, I think on Netflix, was the KonMari method, the Marie Kondo method of decluttering your things and getting rid of everything that doesn't bring you joy. So those two big ideas were the place where I personally started. And so today I thought we could dive into some of the similarities, some of the differences, and how I think both of them can help you to declutter your things and find a lot more peace in your home. KonMari method was created by Marie Kondo, somebody who I grew to love and adore as I was reading her book and watching her shows. There was a lot of really great things that she was talking about, and it really brought up the question of, does this bring me joy? When I am holding this object, what is the sensation, the feeling that this object is giving me? And I love that when she starts to come into anybody's home, she will go down on the ground and she will just thank the space, thank the environment that she's in. She's grateful to be there, which is what we should be doing in our own homes. Grateful to be in a space that brings us safety and comfort. And then she breaks things down into 5 big categories. We have clothing and books and papers and the miscellaneous items, hobby supplies, and then our sentimental items, which she has come last. And the big idea is that she tells you to bring these things together. So if you're starting with your books, find all of the books in your house, put them in one space, and just kind of step back and see the enormity of what you have. I use this method a lot with my clothing, and there were good, beneficial things to it, and some things that I thought were a little too overwhelming for the way that my brain works. One, I had a ton of clothes, and I was really overwhelmed when I took everything out, put it on my bed, the amount of clothes that I saw, and I just felt like I was drowning when I did that. But the thing that I did appreciate when I broke it down a little more and I just did one category at a time and I would take all of my shirts and put them on my bed is when you see the enormity of what you have, you realize not only am I being so ungrateful and always looking for what's the next best thing, but I don't know if I even like the things that I have, and yet I'm hanging on to them and I'm having to take care of them and they're taking up space in my home and I don't even know I have them or even like them. So why are they still here? I wanted to thank today's sponsor, Earth Breeze. I have been looking around my home for products that are just harsh chemicals or bad for the environment, and I've been slowly over the past 6 years changing them. And I didn't realize that one of the worst offenders is our laundry detergent. And that's when I found Earth Breeze. Their detergents are free from harsh chemicals and brighteners and dyes. There's no heavy plastic jug, no mess, and no chemical residue on your clothes. Just a lightweight pre-measured sheet that dissolves in the wash and gets the job done. And yes, it does actually keep your clothes clean, fresh, and soft. And one of the surprises for me was that most of the popular brands that we're all using for our laundry detergent are so full of harsh chemicals that can irritate our skin, mess up our hormones, and can cause allergic reactions. So honestly, I just didn't want these things around my home anymore. And with Earth Breeze, I feel so much better knowing that I'm not exposing myself or my family or my home to all of these harsh chemicals. So if you're interested in this really easy switch in your laundry schedule to save up to 40% off plus 4 free gifts, go to earthbreeze.com/minimalease. For me, when I was doing this and going through the KonMari method, it really helped me to be more aware of the emotions that I was putting on objects. Sometimes they were unduly given, these emotions, where it was hard for me to know what I found joy with. It was more easy for me to realize that I didn't like things. Like there was no emotion at all with certain objects, clothing, books, the miscellaneous stuff. I had no emotional attachment to them. They were just in my home, so I didn't get rid of them. And it was acknowledging then finally when I did find those things that I found joy in, wow, okay, I really like this. This is something that I really can appreciate, and I need to remember that I have so many things that I can be grateful for today, that I can find joy in my home today. And I think that is an idea that I didn't ever spend time thinking about when I was constantly searching for the next best thing and shopping all the time. I didn't realize there were so many things in my home that did bring me joy, and that if I slowed down with all the shopping and spending, that I could actually find a lot more joy. And it really wasn't until I started going through this method and finding those small amount of groups of things that actually brought me joy that I realized that it's not in the amount of things that you have. It's in acknowledging that you really don't need as much as you think you do, and that when you only have what is left, those things really do bring you joy and make your life easier. And as humans, we can really only have so many things that we can say truly bring us joy. And then we come into minimalism, right? And minimalism is where it all really started for me, watching that Netflix documentary about the minimalists. And I guess it was just the idea that not only could I have less, but I could have so much less and still be okay, still be fine, and have all of my needs met. And I didn't have to keep all of these things that were just weighing me down in life. I didn't have to have them. And that whole idea was a shock to my system. And I don't know, that probably sounds crazy to some of you, but being told that I didn't have to keep all of this stuff was finally that light bulb, that wake up call I needed to realize that I was doing this to myself. I was making my own suffering, and I didn't have to do that anymore. So letting go of all the excess, removing the distractions, simplifying my routines that I was willing to do every day, and creating a home that supports the life that I want to have, and not worrying about how it's going to affect other people that don't live with me, was a huge wake-up call. And I loved it. And I still really appreciate a lot of the aspects of minimalism. One of the big things that I took away as I started to learn more about minimalism was that I, for so many years in my adult life, had decor everywhere, all around my house. And it's really what I saw in the magazines. It's what I saw in other people's homes. It's just what I saw. There had to be things on every wall. And if there wasn't, it wouldn't feel homey. It wouldn't feel comforting, and people wouldn't want to come over. They would think that I'm maybe not a good mom or I'm not a good homemaker if I didn't have all of these things on my walls. And then when I just bit the bullet, started getting rid of things, and started to take away all of the things off of my walls, and slowly only brought back what was important to me, I realized that, one, nobody else cares. The decor that you have in your home, it's so funny. I used to think that people would care. They don't. And two, that especially the way my brain works, I cannot have every wall covered with things. I cannot have every space and flat surface covered with decor, because I feel really burdened and overwhelmed by the thinking of, I have to clean it, I have to take care of it, I have to find something that matches it. I need to add some more decor pieces so the picture wall looks right. It was so overwhelming to me, and I didn't realize the burden that it was having on my life until I finally took it away, and realizing that I didn't have to live with a bunch of things that I didn't really care about, because it's my life and it didn't matter to anyone else in my home, and so I could live without it. So where Marie Kondo, I think, was about finding what joy was, and that was a beautiful thing in itself, but also a struggle. Minimalism helped me to clarify that even if I find joy in something, if it's not making my life easier, I still don't need to keep it. I can find joy in a lot of things. And that was a big struggle for me while I was going through that method. But it didn't matter because with minimalism, when I met Marie Kondo with minimalism, I realized that if it's not making my space feel and work the way that I need it to work as the human that's taking care of it, then it's okay to let go of things that give us joy. And we can thank them and we can appreciate that they came into our life when they did, when we needed them. And now we can say goodbye to those things. And minimalism lets us know that it's okay, that you're going to be okay. Living with less things is okay. And actually, it's going to make you feel a lot better because it's not about getting rid of everything. I think it's so funny when I'm met sometimes with people that say, I could never be a minimalist because I couldn't just live with 3 shirts, or I couldn't live in a home that doesn't have any silverware. I could never be a minimalist. But I think that's missing the mark a lot when it comes to minimalism, because I don't live with 3 shirts. I live with more than 2 forks. Like, there are so many different kinds of minimalists, and you can pick what fits you when it comes to the definition. And for me, what it fits me is that I don't keep things just because I've had them for a long time. I don't keep things if they bring me joy, if they're not fitting with the way I need to live my life. And I certainly don't keep things that don't make my life easier, because I should not be burdened by my home at all times. My home should be working for me. It needs to be that well-oiled engine that's helping me live a easier, happier life, because that's what our home should be, right? That's what our lives should be. That's what our schedules should be. They shouldn't be such a burden to us that our homes feel like a place we never want to come home to. That's where minimalism has helped me to kind of bridge those ideas. And both of them have worked so well in my home. Where Marie Kondo, I think, can really help you with several different things in your home. Your books that you're just hanging on to, but you're never going to read them because you haven't started yet and you've had them for months. The books that you are only keeping because you remember the person that gave it to you, but you yourself aren't going to read them. You feel maybe guilty about getting rid of them. Those sentimental items that we've been given over the years that we don't like, we're not using, or even I've heard so many of you guys say this as well, those sentimental items that aren't sparking joy, that we look at them and they bring back sad memories, hard memories for us to get past. And that is not a place where we need to live. Now, there are pictures you can take, you can write about this object and let it go. And so you know that it's not gone forever, but we certainly don't need to hang on to the things, especially our sentimental things that are evoking an emotion that's only going to cause pain, because that's not where we want to be in our present. We don't want to always be looking at it and think about the bad things and then have that be throughout our day. The Marie Kondo method is definitely a great place to find and identify how you're feeling about objects and kind of be able to sit with them. Where I found it really overwhelming to bring everything together, especially my clothes, like I said before, you don't have to do it all at one time, but you could bring out all of your dresses that you have. You could bring out all of your shirts that you have at one time and think about, what is this evoking? Is this evoking that I need to lose weight? Is this evoking that I need to wash it, or I need to take it to the dry cleaners, which if you're me is never going to happen? Then that's not sparking joy. That's not making my life easier. Is this like the outfit I'm wearing today though? Is this cozy and comfortable and I feel good in it and I walk out the door and I feel great wearing this outfit? Then I can identify what joy means then. I can identify how I'm feeling, and that grows with practice. That's just what I've figured. Finding joy in items and identifying what is not joy definitely took me some time. But then with minimalism, how can we use this in our daily life? Well, it really comes down to being able to clarify what's important in your life. My family is important. My safety is important. Being able to find some happiness in every day, some moment of awe to me is what I call it every day is important to me. Making sure that we have the things we need in order to function the best we can matters to me. And a lot else doesn't, I've realized now. And I will tell this story because it's literally just happened, but my husband broke one of my brand new Pyrex bowls that I just got for my birthday. Is a really big one. I was excited because I was gonna take our Thanksgiving salad in it, and it's the perfect size, and he broke it the other day on accident. And at first, yeah, it was upsetting. I was like, oh, man, it broke, because I don't want to replace it. It was expensive. Then before I could even really react, I heard my daughter say, oh, Mom, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry that broke. I know it was your birthday present, blah, blah, blah. And it clicked again. Minimalism clicked in my brain. You know what? It's okay. Like, it's just a thing. It's an object. Yeah, I liked it and I enjoyed it, but is it my family? Is it keeping me safe? No. So it's not that important. And I think that has to be one of the most beautiful things that minimalism has taught me. And I'm extremely grateful that I've learned it before my daughter is completely grown so that I can teach her that importance. Things break, things get ruined, things happen, but it's a thing. It's not a person, and it didn't make us unsafe when it happened. So it's okay. We can get past this because it's just a thing. And I absolutely love that about minimalism, that it's created clarity to me. In my brain, I can step back very quickly and assess, is this important? It's a thing, so no, it's all good. Like, things can get ruined and broken, and I'm perfectly fine. And so if you, I don't know what I have in my throat. I'm like, I'm gonna choke. Y'all gonna see it. Ooh, okay, maybe some coffee helped. So if you're really struggling in your home right now, and you feel really overwhelmed about getting rid of things, and you just think, I can't get rid of anything, then doing some more research about Marie Kondo and about minimalism and bridging those two together is what really helped me to get past that and finally get to the point where, yes, I can identify things that bring me joy. And yes, I can say that even if it brings me joy, it's not what matters if it's a thing. Even if I find joy in it, if it's a thing, it's not hitting my ideas of minimalism in my life. It's not the most important things that in my life. And that's what minimalism has taught me. So I hope that kind of clarifies maybe some places that you could work on in your own home. I love both of these ideas. And I definitely think that both of them allow a lot of flexibility to find what works for you. And that's why I think both of these ideas have been around for a long time, but also work and change. And I think personally can work for everybody. All right, friend, if you've enjoyed this, which I certainly hope you have, then click on one of the videos right here, and I wish you guys all the very best.